See right there is just setting up the camera behind behind the scenes. Oh dang it! All right, let me check on things. Get this out of the way. Organize my stuff here. Oh, I guess maybe let me clean this up. Let me make sure we can hear me and I'm centered here. 1 second. Thanks for joining in. Let me check and see. All right, we got sound. You can just clean off this here. David with the plant bar. Thanks for checking in. It's Tuesday, July 22nd, and we're on our Tuesday live prepping for market we have coming up August 23rd, I think. So we're in the midst of getting stuff ready, and I'm going to do my best to monitor. So if you're just logging in, feel free to say hi, where you're watching from, and we'll go from there. Hello, Renee. Let me clear. I got to clean this up, and ooh, I forgot water. I'm in a world of hurt right now. Let me see if I've got myself situated here. All right, I'm in trouble. So I've been sick for the last, I don't know, 4 days, all weekend. I don't know. I feel a little better today now. This morning I did not, but I can barely breathe and I'm a little raspy and it's kind of hot out here. I didn't have a fever or anything. I just like a little thing with my throat. I was going to try to look over here on my computer to see how hot it is here, but I'm sure it's not as hot as where you guys are at. It's maybe in the high 80s with some high humidity. All right, let me get these out of here. Oh man. How's everybody doing? We've got friends in town, so Crystal is with them, and so I'm gonna be doing my best to operate here solo again. It's summertime here, and there's always people visiting, but we've been committed. I've been committed to do this every Tuesday, so here I am. I got plenty of plant stuff to do, and I'll stay here as long as I can. If it might not be a full hour today, we'll see, but I wanted to stay consistent. 104, yeah, maybe. I'll count my blessings. Hey Ben, what's up? Thanks for joining. Today we are doing more, like I said, we're going to be doing more market prep. Got a big market that is coming up in August, and I'm like super behind for. So I'm trying to. I've got a bunch of plants that I neglected and definitely did what I preach not to do. So I'm trying to catch up on all these plant chores, and today we're going to be working on some peperomias. So there's a couple different varieties of peperomias that I've got here. It's just a regular green radiator peperomia, and then this is a variegated one here. They're like super root bound in here, and so I gotta fix it, and I'll show you. I was gonna pull this off. So I don't know why. I mean, they're not like, you can see the roots. They're white, fibrous, good, happy, healthy roots, but these things dry out super quick. So I don't know if the mix that I used is not great. So this one I had previously cut back, and you can see when you do a cutback, it gets nice and bushy, and that's what I want to do to these other ones. And then I'm going to transfer them all over into 6-inch pots, and then plant the cuttings back into these 4-inch pots. So the hope is by the market, 4-inch pots are new plants that are rooted. I can sell them, and then the ones that are currently in these taller pots, the cuttings will fill in and then fill in that pot and be ready to sell too. Because otherwise I've kind of let these things go. They're a little shabby. So yeah, these are peperomias. So peperomias, before I get into it, peperomias like soil similar to succulents. So they store a lot of water in their leaves. They've got thick, waxy leaves, thick stems. They'll hold a lot of water in there. What they definitely don't like is having water on the bottom. I've ran into a couple mistakes where I've put these like in a decorative pot and then watered in here. Then the water sits in the bottom, and the dang thing it wilts up and then never comes back. So if you have peperomia, just know that they do not like that. So want to be sure to have it in fast draining aerated soil. It doesn't have to be chunky, but it needs to be draining so that the roots don't sit in water. And then it only needs water when it's dry. All right, so I'm going to get started here. I got a pair of pruners. I can't remember if this is the good pair or the bad pair. Okay, this is the better pair. And then I want to sterilize them. Sterilize with alcohol, just like rubbing alcohol. Make sure you got no cuts. That way you're not transferring any diseases or anything from one plant to another, because I use these all over the place. And yeah, if you're just logging in, just like I said, Crystal is she's at the beach. So I'll be covering the live today, and I'll do my best to come over here and check on what's going on over here. I'm sure she probably will. Oh yeah, there she is. I'm sure she'll probably say hi. I'm sure she's watching from the beach. She's over on the west side, and I don't blame her. I've been sick, so I've been trying to keep my distance, which is perfect because perfectly distant from all you guys. Okay, so sterilized my pruners, and oh, Crystal's at the pool. I'm in the pool of my sweat on my shirt. It's really humid out here. I don't have my little gauge, but it's probably like 70% humidity or something. It's pretty hot and humid. So what I'm gonna do, I'll show you guys how to cut these guys. So the peperomias have a much smaller node than last week we were doing the pothos, the Cebu blue pothos, and they had like a longer distance in between the nodes. These are much smaller. So usually want to do, so we're going to make some top cuttings. If they're longer, I'll make a mid cut, but we want to have like 5 good leaves and then cut right below it. So we'll just say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh shoot. So right in there at the midpoint is where I'm going to cut it. So I guess like right there. And then I'm going to leave this, and I'm actually going to cut it at a 45 to try to get that thing to grow a little straighter, because it's totally crooked. This is from lack of care here on my end. Okay, so I'm going to cut this, and then this is going to go into a 6-inch, and then this cutting is going to go into the 4-inch. And what you'll do is, this ain't coming off so easy. Remove the smaller leaves, and I might, if I have a minute, I might step away. So the leaves you can root as well. So you can root them in, it looks like I had some snails or something eating these. That's what that is. You can root it in perlite, just directly, you set it up like that, and a new plant will come up in perlite in a bin. I'll try to run over there and get it, or um, it can be in like sphagnum moss, or even sometimes peat moss, and you can get them to root. Just got to keep the humidity up. All right. So I got this guy, and the hopes is that it'll root from here and here. Um, you could technically not use rooting hormone, but I'm going to use it just for fun. I'm going to use rooting hormone number 3, which is a fairly common one and readily available and works for most plants except for like woody ones. I dip that in there. All right. So then from there, I do need to make some soil for these guys. So these won't be ready by mid-August, late August. This is like 3 to 6 months down the road. I'll have more plants. How did that phone call with Brad go? Well, it'd be like you would expect it. Crystal, we'll have a conversation later. This is not the forum for that. All right, let me get one sec. Get over here. Get this. All right, we get some soil. Oh, I wonder if I'm just gonna use this. I got some soil I mixed previously. It's got real chunky perlite in it, but I think it'll be okay. We're gonna use it. We can use it up. Oh yeah. So you don't necessarily need a chunky, like I said, you don't need the chunky stuff, but it won't hurt it. All right, so we got our soil mix. Let me move this out of the way. It's very, very dry, so not great. One second. Okay, so whenever your soil mix is, when we're doing these cuttings like this, you want your soil mix to be wet. I should have checked that before I did that. So I'm going to put this back in this bucket and I'm going to wet it, or I'm going to get something else. The reason why is these stays really loose, and then it's hard to get it to stay without falling over. It's just easier to have it wet. It doesn't have to be like sopping wet, but it can't be like this. This is totally dried out because this is I think I used this on a couple times and just threw it back in a bucket. Bear with me. We're just moving soil here, you know, just taking it out of a bucket, putting it back in a bucket. It's a lot of fun. All right, so shoot. And I mentioned I've been sick, so like my brain isn't firing on all cylinders. I'm trying my best here, but I think I got dirt in my eyeball. All right, oh man, I really did get dirt in my eye. I had some water sitting around here somewhere. This is when I need my assistant. All right, I'm gonna use this other soil. Sorry, guys. We're gonna mix some more because this is already wet. All right, you can see this is more wet, better suited for what we're doing. And what I'll do is just mix in a little extra perlite in this. One sec. Where's that pink cup? Any questions? Sorry, I'm getting over here sidetracked. Which 3 plants did you transplant? And you got the plants next to each other, Renee, so they can talk to each other. That's funny. Mine must be like the gossip of the town. They share all the tea everywhere. Oh, there it is. All right, let me get perlite. So this is the base soil mix, just like an organic mix. It's moistened already. And it has a decent amount of perlite, but I want a little more. And this will be regular perlite, not the chunky kind. There we go. So I'll mix this together. Want it to look about like that. I don't know the names. All right. I think there was a I remember you sending those to me, Renee, and I think it was a Dieffenbachia, either a pothos or a philodendron, like Brazil type plant. Something else, I can't remember. If you've ever met me in person, you know that I can remember all your plant names and all your plants in your yard and everything about your landscape, but maybe not your name. I know Renee's name though. That's funny. Okay, so now I got the right soil and it's wet. You can see it's nice and sticks together. So now I can just fill this guy up. Gonna fill it up to the brim there. And then take our cutting. Oh, that's not our cutting. Remember I told you guys, oh, there it is. Take our cutting that's been dipped in the rooting hormone. We remove the two lowers. This is a top cut. Pop that in to where these two are like right, like they get right into the soil. We'll water this in a little bit, and then that'll be, oh shoot, one of our new plants. I'm gonna do the same thing here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do a mid cut and an angle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what this gives me also is we can do another, sorry, those are top cuts. Mid cut, I'm going to do here. Okay, so now I got a mid cut, a couple top cuts. Bunch of chewed up leaves on these. But the idea is now that I've cut these, we're going to get a whole bunch of new growth. It's going to fill in. So I'm going to take this out because this is going to go into a 6-inch pot. This one's actually root bound. I can feel it. It's coming out the bottom there. And then our cuttings will now make it into here. So we got 3 cuttings off of that one. So I need 3 pots. Oh, I don't know if I have all blue ones. Oh, shucks. Gonna have to switch up the colors. I don't like doing that. That's what we're doing. Renee, you have a Monstera? Oh, shoot. Went away. Snake type plant. Snake type plant. Yeah, that's probably true. Oh. All right, so for this one, we're just going to remove the one there. And if you're wondering, oh, why, what you want to do is, and you wouldn't necessarily have to, but the roots, you can see there's little nodes there. That's where the roots are, and that's where we'll get new roots out of that. And then this leaf's pretty beat up, so I'm gonna just chop this in half. And it can save its energy for another day. So we got this little guy here. Pop that in, just past this one. Water that in. Okay, this one. We need to do one. It's over here. Okay, I'll save that one for that. Yeah, so I got to being under the weather, spent the weekend catching up on a decent amount of shows. Anybody got any shows recommend watching? Because I don't know how good I'm gonna be here. It's basically giving all my time to the day job. I get out there and I get it done, and then I come back and I'm pretty tuckered out. Whew. So got to take a break. Watch more shows. Not Jenny in Georgia. So I prefer like action, more action type shows, sci-fi, cool stuff, guy things. Jenny and George. I'm sure it's a great show. I could watch. So I started watching Travelers and then I stopped. That's one show I watched a bunch of. Not recently, that was before. I think I've watched everything I wanted to watch. What else we got? Landscapers on YouTube called The Blessing Boys. They just do landscaping. I guess that could be fun. Oh, the Rick Grimes, that was a different show. The Rick Grimes 2.0, that was a limited series called Untamed. That was a good show. That had I don't know who the stars are, but it was a very, very good show. With the topic was good. It's called Untamed. Landscapers. So I guess maybe I could maybe they'll teach me a thing or two. I live out that day every single day, and then I come home and fuss with plants. Maybe they're living out some different adventures on the landscapers, Blessing Boys. They're probably funny. Where is Blessing Boys out of? 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, this one's. I never heard of it. There, 1, 2. 1, 2. Man, these things look so bad. I don't know what I was doing here. Look at this thing. I think that a lot of this is from Snell's. We got a lot of Snell's here, and I didn't put bait out. Keeping Up the Kardashians, that's a no. Oh, okay, okay. Renee said they take he takes his sons out and they go to like widows places and stuff like that. That's cool. I can dig that. I will look them up on the YouTubes. I guess right here. I guess I could put out this. There's other people that do their lives and they do them on Facebook and not so many on Instagram, but on Facebook and stuff. I guess what's the benefit? What do you think the benefit is to doing that? We've only been doing YouTube, but I'm wondering. All right, so I got that one. If anybody knows that, Crystal might know, and I just not paying attention. All right, 1, 2. So we got 3 more on this one. We're making all kinds of new little guys here. So you can see that process is pretty easy. If you're trying to turn some plants, want to gift out your plants, say something got neglected, this is a way that you can, don't be afraid to chop and prop your plants, and then that way you can give them to your friends, sell them at a market or on Facebook Marketplace. These are fairly common plants, so you're not going to get a lot of money for them. Maybe like $5 to $10 depending on how big they get, what they look like, and maybe more for the 6-inch pots. Okay, now we're going into the greens. Oh, this one actually has a Peperomia care guide on it, so we're going to use that one. There's another Peperomia one. I got a whole bunch of new pots. They're not here. of smaller pots. They're in my truck. Second here, guy. All right, got some more pots here. YouTube has a lot more potential. We're doing our best here. Appreciate all you guys watching. I got to do this stuff anyways, so you guys can keep me company, and I'll keep you company, and maybe learn something along the way from each other. Do that. Put that over there. I'm doing it this way so that I don't confuse myself with everything. Shoot. Start like last week I had everything everywhere, and I don't know that this week I'd be able to keep up with all that, to be honest. Slow motion over here. Slow motion. They're like the old cool movies, like the ones that you used to watch that aren't streaming anywhere else. You can find them on YouTube. That's a good idea. Okay, this is a top cutting, so I'm going to remove the first two. This one will have good promise to root. Yeah, that's a good one right there. All right, so I got one more. This one also is like really loose in this thing here. I don't know what happened here. 1, 2, 3. I guess right here. There's a giant mark where the thing was eating it. And this one I'm gonna share with this one. I just put it in there. We'll see if that works. Oh, I could use these now. Shoot. My OCD's kicking in. I got blue, brown, green. We're gonna go back to blue. You can ask Crystal. Oh, John Wayne, that's a little before my time. Whew. I know I don't. I have watched John Wayne movies, but what's a John Wayne movie? This is the truth. I don't know. Is it? No. I don't know. you can ask Crystal. Like, I am not good with names to begin with. Like lyrics, names of movies, any of that stuff. So not good. But good. I think that there's other. I've seen. What about the paid YouTube thing? Does anybody do that? They try to get me to do that every time I go on there. I ran out of soil. I gotta add some more. A little more perlite. 1 second. Mix this up. Yeah, name some John Wayne movies. The only thing that's coming to mind is I'm thinking like True Grit, but that's not it. Is that a John Wayne movie? True Grit? Am I right? I probably should know, but I don't know. None so far. We'll wait for Google search to. Got to Google the names. And I'm over here. No time to Google. All right, there's one. Didn't have 2 cups? Already did one. Oh my gosh. All right, cut. This is the top cut. I'm going to cut 2. Goes over there. All right, those are all those. This one here got eaten away by the slugs, but there's a new baby that's growing back. So I'm just going to put that with these And I was right, True Grit is. Hey, I'm amazing. I don't know how I remembered that. Ah, I see why this was like that. All right, so this old mix that I just pulled out of here that we had used, I'd done this previous. I used sand. That's why it was drying out so quick. Once they got roots, I probably should have sized them up quicker because the sand is not holding the moisture enough around them once they started growing. Okay, I got one more, and I've got this guy. I'm going to take one, two top cuts from, leave the rest. Try to make this bushy. And I'm going to upsize that into a 6-inch. So we got our 6-inch guys right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got all of our little guys here for the ones. For the ones. I think I meant because I only put one in. I don't know. Don't mind me over here. So this is just a regular green one. Real pretty though. Okay, we're learning all about John Wayne. He was a legend. I bet my kids don't know who John Wayne is. That'll be a question. Crystal, ask the kids, all those young kids that are around, who John Wayne is. See if any of them know. I guess the oldest one's not with them. So our oldest, Misha, is at FSY this week, which is a church-led, I'll explain it, like a church-led camp. It's a week-long camp. It's at BYU, Hawaii. They get to they get in these groups and they do social skills as well as it's not like super religious. It's more like social skills and how to develop good habits is what this camp's for. It's for a week, and hopefully she's having a good time. Crystal dropped her off yesterday. Yeah, Crystal dropped her off yesterday, and we'll pick her back up on. Wait, okay, so Crystal, you said that the oldest. Oh yeah, the oldest, Brad would know, but not the rest of the kids. Brad's 25. You better know. Or I guess not he better. I'm sure he knows. Okay, on these other ones, we're gonna do 6-inch. 3. So these are 6-inch pots, and we're transferring these into larger pots so we can get them to grow a little bigger. Holy smokes. Maybe we're not. How many I got? 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 4. I just need one more. So out of all these stuck together, maybe I can get one more. I got one. All right. Okay, so I'm going to use 6-inch pots for these other ones. We have some soil here. As you can see, I'm going to put these in the center and lower. It's going to be about a finger length below. So each of these about halfway full with soil, and then I'll fill the remainder. And for these, I'm not going to scale down the mix any. I'm just going to use regular planting mix. It'll be okay for these plants. They're peperomias are, these peperomias at least, are pretty easy to grow. I wonder if I should actually, I know what I'm going to do. Stand by. Behind the scenes over here, I'm just mixing up some soil. Okay, so I'm going to get these all prepped for the most part, then I'll do the rest up here. Working hard over here. Working hard. Promise. All right, so I got these mostly filled with soil. Another way you could do it is like fill it up, put it on top. But what I want to do is I'm just gonna fill them up with soil like this, and then just kind of build me a little gap like that. I'm gonna take these. There's a little bit of root boundness. I'm gonna take that off. The other thing I could have done, which would have been a good idea, would have been to wet these before I do it because they're like bone dry. Really not the best idea. So I'll do that with these ones, and then go down the line, do all the rest, and then I'll. This one's actually not too bad. Oh, shoot. Oh, this is like the hard way to do it. But this is what I'm choosing to do here. All right. And then I'm going to compact around in a minute, and then I'll fill the tops. I'm just basically making a little gap here. Okay, there's that one. So these should grow fairly quickly. Now that I'm gonna get them some soil, they should take off. Man, I'm running out of. Whew. I didn't bring any water, guys. All right. Anybody else? I guess today was kind of a humbug day for a lot of people. One of the rock legends passed away. Ozzy Osbourne paved the path for a lot of the rock groups. So that's not great news. I know we watched his farewell tour. We were over at a friend's house watching it, and he was like, yeah, he wasn't, he didn't like perform outside the chair really. I don't know if any of you guys were able to see that. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is fill this, get this to match so that the soil is the same height as the root ball that's there. And we want to leave a little gap, 1-2 finger lengths. I'm compacting the sides so it can look like that. And it doesn't look like much now because I cut it all back, but we should get, so we'll get a whole bunch of growth from here. Another thing I could have done was put another cutting or so in here, but I'm trying to stretch what I got, if that makes sense. Like I said, these plants don't, they're not like, so these plants are pet safe. So they're good with all the different pets in the houses, but they're not like super bougie, expensive plants. But they're real easy to propagate. So it's like a really easy, quick turnaround. So always try to have them. One, because they're good with pets. So they're pet safe. And two, because it's easy to propagate, and they're real pretty. They got these glossy, big glossy leaves. They do well in indoors and outdoors. Like super easy plant. One of the easier ones. Not as easy as a ZZ plant though. And mainly that's just because you don't want the roots can't sit in water. Like I said before, make sure it's draining. If you have this in a decorative pot, that you let it drain before you before you put it back in the pot, so it doesn't get that humidity there. Because it won't like it. It'll wilt, and then you'll be like, "What did I do to my plant?" All right, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got all these guys. So now it's just watering. So next step for me here would be water all these. And then for these ones, I'm going to keep these guys damp. So watering here, it's going to be about 3 times a week. Whereas these ones, more like 1 to 2, depending in the grow area. So John Wayne was in 140 movies. Holy smokes. That's a lot of movies. I wonder if he just started making them. I guess that's the way it goes, right? You get super famous and then everybody wants you to do it, and why would you turn down making more movies? Man, okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move these all out of the way, and then got a little bit of time. I was gonna put these other peperomias in my, what do you call it? The little grow. Guys, I'm really like I'm slow. Usually maybe I'm a little quicker. Uh, the little plastic tub that I got. Does that say 1932? I don't have contacts in or my glasses, but I think that's what it says. It's like early in the 1900s. Wow. So was he young then? How old was he? How old was John Wayne when he made his first movie? What is the answer to that? Trivia time for John Wayne. I bet he liked plants. Yeah, definitely. What do you guys think? You think he liked plants? Okay, I'm gonna be right back. I'm still right over here grabbing this bin. All right. Last movie was in 1976, so he did that many movies in 40 years. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna sneeze. Let me clean this up. And then I'll pull out this bin here. Oh, let me move these out of the way. Okay, I'm gonna clean this up, get all the soil out of the way so we can finish up the rest of these peperomias. I just noticed my little pinguicula that's down there. You guys can't see it. It's flowering. I'll pull it up here for a minute. It's doing a good job catching bugs, and it's got a flower on it. I really want to get more carnivorous plants. I enjoy them very much. Oh shoot. He passed in 1979. Oh my goodness. So that's crazy. Okay. Ooh. There's a lot of stuff going on in here. I'm going to remove some of this. This is the bog if you haven't seen it, but yeah, this pinguicula right here. That's this real pretty flower, and then the seed of it is actually on this in there. So it's like how do you call it? I'm trying not to cut it. So I'm trying to bend it so you guys can see. All right. I don't know if you can see that on there. Probably not. So that's the throat of the flower there. There's two pieces. One and two. This is the stem, and then this is the throat of the actual flower, this long piece here, and that's where the seed will be. I'm gonna leave this here. I probably messed it all up now. That's exciting. And my Venus flytrap that's in here is not getting bigger, but there's a whole bunch of little babies on there. Anyways, update on that. Like I said, I'm gonna do a big one, big old bog, and have a whole bunch of stuff in them. Oh shoot! I'm actually installing rain. In a house on the landscape side of things, we're installing a rain barrel at a house, and the new rain barrels have so they have a top. So the rain comes off the gutters, goes in the side, but it has a top that can catch rain, and then it's like a dish, so you can plant it. So it's like this living rain barrel, and I was like, that's a perfect thing to have. Perfect thing to have carnivorous plants on because they'll just catch all the rainwater. The be in this little moist bog situation, but not in straight in water, and always have access to rainwater. Perfect. So I'm gonna work on that. Let's see. All right. So next thing was wanted to get the rest of these leaves. So I've got all these Peperomia leaves that we can propagate. I don't know if I have any in here currently. So if you don't remember from before, um, this didn't make it. This is a bunch of Hoyas that I cut many months ago, and then I've got this is Hoya publicalis, and I've sized a bunch of them up from the cuttings that we did in soil. But these are just a bunch of peduncles that we had, and I'm still growing them. It's just taken a very long time, but they are rooting. Like all of them are rooting, and starting to leaf out. So we're getting some success here. I don't have time to do it today, but like this one is very successful. See that? So this is just from 4 or 5 inch cuttings. They've got all these roots along the peduncle as it shoots it out. It's a whole bunch of little bumpy air roots, and then when you get it in the perlite moist environment, we got some new plants, new babies growing. So I did do that. I guess I didn't. I thought I had a peperomia in here, but I don't. It must be in something else. I did shove this in there. Looks like it's growing. I don't know where it's. This is all rotted out. So that's what not to do. Huh. I smelled it. That was a mistake. All right. So this, oh, this is a Dieffenbachia. I know what this is. That I've now. That wasn't smart. Maybe a Dieffenbachia shouldn't stay in here. So this is a little test. I just throw stuff in here and see what happens. We definitely have had a lot of success with the Hoyas. So I will have to spend some time. Any of them that have new leaves coming out, I've got to spend some time and cut them out. That was, oh, thanks. Jilly bean. Now it's Jilly bean. I'll take it. Coolest plant guy you know. You might know one plant guy, and I just happen to be him, but I'm the coolest. All right, so I'm going to leave this in here. Yeah. Going to see what happens. I'm going to add these into here. And then before I go, because we got a little bit of time, I do want to go find, I'm going to take this out because this is a mistake. It's obviously living, but then this is all rotting out. I'm going to go find I could have swore that I had some of these growing somewhere. A couple filled Hoyas. So I'll take those out. But otherwise, very successful Hoya propagation through the peduncles. Like more than 50% of these little cuttings that I shove in here have lived. So I'm going to do the same thing with this, but I am going to give this guy a little head start, and I'm just going to do the same thing. So we're going to put all these in let's do all these in a assembly line here. I'm going to do a little assembly line with the Peperomia, and then shove them in this perlite, leave them in this little tub. So it's got like filtered light that it gets over in the grow area, and I keep the lid on, so I keep the lid closed. And usually I'll check on it like once, I don't know, I don't do it often enough, once a month, and see if it's still moist, like see if it's still wet on the lid. And if it is, then I do nothing. If it's dried out a little bit, I just give it a quick mist, and then that's it. And now that some of these have leafed out, we'll start propagating them for the Hoyas. The Hoyas I put in here, it's probably been 6 months. I don't know. Maybe it's been 4. I'd have to look back into the archives of when we did a Hoya episode with the live show. All of the rest of the Hoyas that were cuttings that we did in soil, that were larger cuttings with leaves, are ready. They're ready now for the market. I've actually given some to my friends. They already got new shoots. They're ready to go, ready to run. So I'm just gonna put these in here, sprinkle a little water in there, close up the lid, and let them be. But generally, like I'd shown you, I'll put this back in. You're gonna get a root, and then should get a new. This leaf won't grow again, but you get a new plant that will grow off the side. Okay, you have a little bit of water here. I'll just sprinkle this water in there since I'm here. Nothing fancy here. Just want to keep it moist in that perlite, but it doesn't have to be like sitting water, just humid. And I usually put some on the lid. Put it upside down, create a little humid thing, and then that's gonna go back out there. 6 minutes left. All right, now I got 5 minutes left. The other things I was gonna do. I got the peperomias done. Oh, 1 second. Be right back. I'm still talking. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm coming over here to the side. I am looking for the peperomia leaves. Okay. Well, it turns out I lost them. I must have killed them, or I moved them around and they're gone. The old ones are gone. So now we have new experiments, but they're in here. I can't remember where I put the other ones. We'll see how long it takes and see if we can get any of those leaves. They're just leaves to root. So as I go along, maybe in a few months, I'll check back in. I usually do check back into this. I do got to plant some of these that have leafed out. And Renee, yes. So the cuttings I just put in perlite, and that's all that's in here. Chunky perlite. There's about 4 inches, in just a plastic tray like this. Keep it humid, and if it's outside, it needs to be bright shade, no sun, no direct sun, especially where you're at. Maybe even like put it inside near a west window or a southern window, so that it gets a little bit of ambient light. And then, or if you're in an area, you can have a grow light, but it only needs a little bit of. You don't want to put it in like the shade. It's got to have a little bit of light, tiny bit. But you don't want it to dry out or get like direct light. It'll burn it up. Okay, the last thing I'm gonna do is fix. What's that? My computer is just doing things. I have no idea what's happening right now. All right. Last thing I'm going to do is I screwed up this ZZ plant. It's been sitting up here neglected for a while, and so it needs to get fixed. So that's happening now. I had it in this like 6-inch pot. It looks like doo-doo, and it's showing neglect here. And I don't know what happened here. Like totally messed this thing up. So this was over with the peperomia. It must have like fallen or something. So I'm going to put it in a 1 gallon pot. So it's got room. And what do I got left here? I have soil back here, but I got to fill an order. And so I need some of it. So I'm not using it all. I got this other soil here. I just filled this up most of the way. That probably was too much. All right. We're going to give this guy a new lease on life. Do it like that. I'm going to cut these other guys down a little bit in a minute. Do it like that. Fill around. I don't know what I'm going to do with this other piece. Maybe I can, it's not cut all the way, so oh, now it is. Okay, I gave it a splint. I'm going to see if that fixes it. We'll see how resilient the ZZ plants really are. All right, I'm going to get the rest of the soil, place this in there. Coming out clean this time, guys. Usually I leave this a mess, and the next time I come here, I'm like, oh, I got to clean all this up. All right, so I'm just going to fill this back up and make sure I didn't miss anything over here. Finish this up. Give this ZZ plant another chance. Most people probably would just toss it, right? I don't know. What would you do? Would you try to keep this, or would you toss it? You saw how it looked. Keep or toss. And that's a little bit. So this guy, I'm filling it back up. I'm not worrying about covering up any of these things. And I'm actually going to cut these old things here. Try to clean this guy up in the best way I can. All right, now we got to give this a splint. I could have swore I had some bamboo under here. Okay, I need to get myself organized because I got stuff everywhere. Oh, here it is. Bamboo. Splint. Stake this guy up. I'm going to make this work here. What do you think so far? Renee says she would save it. I'm saving it too. I don't have my, oh yeah, I do. So bamboo, got green tie. Start at the bottom. I'm gonna do like 3 ties on this. So actually, this way, and then come back. Nice, good base. Fingers don't work. So, one. Go right above where it's all messed up. I'm not 100% sure that this is going to live, but it very well could because it's a ZZ plant, like this limb here. The ZZ plant's not going to die. That's the thing. You ever have a ZZ plant and you're wondering, oh, should I toss it? Probably not. Even if it's just like a chunk at the bottom, because you just give it the right things that it needs, and then it comes back. Things are resilient. All right, so I'm going to just tie this off here. And if you wanted to go the extra mile, which we're going to do for this plant, cut our little tapes up. Nice clean work here. Maybe use the actual tool to cut the ribbon next time. And clean this up here. Putting lipstick on this pig. Gonna make it look nice. All right, there we go. The other thing you could do is I could take that off, but I'm gonna leave it there for now. So we got 1, 2, and then last thing. All right, 2 more things. So extended release Osmo Coat Plus. Give it that. Maybe a little more. So some nerds. And then we'll decorate the top with some mulch, cocoa mulch. And it's all dressed up for the good life now. Put on the gown. It's ready to go. So I'll just water this in, and hopefully we'll check back in and see if my little fix helped it there. I'm like 50% sure at this point that it'll be okay. Okay, I think yep. We are out of time. I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm David with the Plant Bar. Sorry, I'm raspy and all over the place. I guess I'm always probably all over the place, but today just extra raspy, and I got just not having as easy of a time to like do the things. So I'm gonna go get some rest. That's what Crystal told me to do somewhere in here. And appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to our channel. We appreciate all you guys doing that and help us out as we grow here. And appreciate you watching. I'm gonna go around and turn it off. Have a good night. Bye bye. See if anybody says bye over here. Good night, Renee. Thank you. Coming around the back. Oh, I don't even know how to do this. All right, thanks, guys.